Wait, hold up. Hit it.
Ain't no mistaking, we been moving and shaking around the city.
Where we at, Ash?
New Orleans.
You feel me?
New Orleans, baby.
This retreat, what does it mean to me? That struck a chord.
I believe music is community. It connects communities, cultures, people who probably would have never been in the same room with each other are connected off of music.
Keep going. We're gonna loop that.
Sitting in my room making beats or doing mixes is great. It's something that I love to do, but I feel like the collaboration aspect of it is where it all kind of ties together. Even in the moments where I'm not playing a key or plugging a string or hitting a drum or whatever, it's like, look at how they're navigating the space and what they're doing with it, you know?
What makes a great collaborator? Someone that really understands the room to know if they need to step in the room or not, but also like help communicate between two parties or more. Sometimes that's like a leadership role, sometimes that's a supportive role, sometimes that's really no role at all other than just being a part of the room.
To me, the purpose of life is to grow because everything alive grows in some way or some form. I used to be so not shy, it's just I don't like doing things if I know I'm not really good at it because I feel like, what's the point? I'm not gonna jump in here if I can't tear down the house. But here it's just been so welcoming. You can just be and exist and let things flow and it just feels so good.
If the groove ain't right, the room ain't gonna move. If the groove ain't right, people not gonna feel anything. Rhythm is the anchor. Rhythm is what's gonna make a room move or feel a way. So that has to be intently crafted so that you get the movement and the feels that you want to get. We in the birthplace of jazz. We're in the birthplace of play what you feel. If we speed up a little bit, we slow down a little bit, so long as we're together, you're good. I've recently started to produce without quantization. You can't quantize on the gig. What you play is what's gonna come out. That's what I care about the most, making things feel away.
Oh, damn. There it is.
I know you got a bunch in there.
Yeah. Sorry. Gotta get warmed up. The way that I use bass to tell a story, convey a feeling is, I call it the outline. It's the great outline. If this chord is trying to convey this feeling, then you outline that chord this way, maybe in a descending style, maybe in a whatever. There's a question mark, maybe you want to play on the higher octave instead and let that ring out versus this heavy bottom that feels more like a escape or relaxed or, you know, some kind of depleting thing maybe. The bass can definitely overpower and there can be not enough. Finding that balance of like, what is all that I need to do? And all you need to do is all you have to do. What, you know, the guitar players or horns or piano players, whatever color is being added, the bass's job is to highlight and define what those colors are. The bass highlights all the chords and melodies that are playing and different ways to help ask questions or just communicate language. So I try to do that as like a mediator of sorts within music.
My process is exploring until I just feel something or it sounds right. Because that's, I'm self-taught, 10 of the instruments that I know, and it just goes by what I hear. And I'm like, oh, this sounds right. To me, viola, it feels like a voice. I use it to speak through things. Like, maybe this doesn't need vocals, maybe it just needs, you know what I'm saying? It's a viola, and it'll give you the same feeling that these melodies and frequencies will give you.
Folks is shuffling around so crazy in a way that like Raney on the keys, now Raney over on the drums, then Ashilee on the guitar, and then she back on the bass, then that's just nuts, dude. I think guitar can be anything. That little 57 that I brought, like I've been doing this thing for the last month or two where like on any given day, if I don't have a direct thing that I need to be working on or that I'm like compelled to work on, I'll just pull out my acoustic guitar, park that on my desk, and everything is on that mic, but the guitar will be the drum. It will be the texture, the percussion, you know what I mean? And it'll all be maybe individually recorded and done, but the guitar can be the whole production. I don't need to program this or one-shot that. Like, if you're creative enough, especially with the sound design element, you can turn a tap on the body of an acoustic into whatever you want.
Boom, so look, now we do this. We do this. Now it's his own station. Boom, boom. Same thing going on over there too, but we still got this to where we can maneuver, somebody getting freestyle, and if we want to get an artist to come through, we put them in the middle of the and they gonna feel everything that's happening around them, you know? In order to tell my story through whatever equipment that I'm using, whether it's synthesizers, my horn, I take my time. Knowing when to get in and get out, you know, those type of things. So like with Synths, it's like, yeah, it's feeling. I know when to get in, I know when I'm at that point. You know, like I know that this is a true channel of what I feel. Like I'm channeling in energies of emotion versus technicalities.
We're all listening, we're all tapped in to the literal same frequency from a chordal standpoint, from a melodic standpoint. And we all respect one another's space. So when Leal's going crazy on the bass station, he over here on the take 5 going nuts. When you hear the thing that needs to be out front, step back. There was a moment where I just kind of closed my eyes and like changed the progression for a moment. And it's like I felt a tear like welling right here. And I opened my eyes and Leal, he looked at me, he said, yeah, that was therapeutic for him right there.
Sometimes you just need some space to think, you know? Not speak out loud, but just time to process, time to comprehend, ask questions to yourself. That's why I love my walk so much. Quiet in space is very, very important. It allows for a lot of the right things to take place.
The quiet moments during the process is when I can actually hear my thoughts. you know, or hear others. I can hear and feel what everybody else is trying to feel, or feeling, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like a kinetic energy.
I forgot where I heard it, but it was like the most important time you spend on a mix is the time you spend away from it. Again, just having some separation. When you get too fixated, you can go really far off the path of where you want to be.
I do my best to balance life and work and self. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, all those things gotta be as close to even and as close to alignment as possible in order for me or anyone to operate at their optimal level. That is a daily task that you have to be devoted to. Most of our jams are at least 50 minutes long, recorded. Not because we said let's jam, it's just somebody noodled around on something and found something. Ashilee picks up a microphone because the subwoofer got installed and does this crazy sound design situation that I had zero to do with and enjoyed every second of, because the flip that happened to it and LEALE did what he does, and then
yeah, it was nuts.
That's all you do? Bro, what?
I mean, there's an echo on it.
I know, but the bass sound that you just made? Just do that.
Y'all not finna act like I don't know how to beatbox.
That's great.
I don't know, I just picked up the mic and I started like beatboxing on it, and I noticed that it sounded super deep and super cool, and so I just started like type, you know what I mean? And it sounded really cool with the subwoofer, and we just built off of that. And that's another thing, I go back to free will, just doing stuff, trying stuff, and being in environments that encourage you to try and do new things. What makes a vocal performance feel honest to me is the emotion. Like within the diction, within the tone, with everything, how you're saying it, like, cause to me, like, I'm a melody person first, so like when melodies come out, it's cool, and then you put like the words to it.
What helps me get into a flow state is sacrifice and surrendering to the moment.
Every day I gotta make something happen, but at the end of the day, I know I'm not in control, so I gotta go with the flow of things.
It's more about like presence on the idea, and when the idea speaks to me, then the flow state is engaged.
The intent is always to create the best thing you possibly can. But then after a while, after a moment, you're like, okay, well, let's just settle into the room. And, you know, let's just see what happens. First thing that comes to mind, let's just roll with it and see where it goes. And so just allowing myself to do that allows for a natural flow to happen.
We came in this house and we just went with the flow. No frequencies clashed. It's like seamless operation.
You don't necessarily know you hit a flow state. I think you move, and if your routines are refined properly and your goals are oriented properly in the proper directions, I think when you hit go, it happens.
I don't push myself, I don't force myself to do anything, therefore I don't ever get stuck, you know what I mean? And if I do find something that I'm not really resonating with, I'll just pivot. Like, it won't be stuck, like, oh, well, maybe this little song isn't for me, and I'll just start something new.
I have collaborators of mine who have pointed out in the past that, like, they know when it happens, right? There's a light that turns on, there's a something, but I think it's context-based. It's like, what's in front of me? What am I hearing? What are we doing that will push you into flow state?
You gotta allow spontaneity to kind of guide you along the structure. We jam out, we let it just record, and at a certain point, you just know, like, yo, this the intro. Like, you know, like, so that's spontaneous, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't, like, whoa, I couldn't have predicted that we fell there, and now you got a whole new idea, you know what I'm saying? So I think they work hand in hand. I just think that fuels structure because I do have the education and the knowledge in how to structure a record, so certain chords or certain movements is gonna pull that out.
Leaning into the spontaneity and just the free form, like we just mentioned, is the way to go about it. And then the structure can come, again, in refinement. If there's a direct assignment, if it's like, all right, we're recording this verse, cool, structure. You're here, mic is on, level set, but everything outside of that should be, you know, in the realm of spontaneity.
You know, it's like practice. Like, you have your routine that gets you going. So there's your structure. And then from there, you leave room for whatever happened to happen.
When the record begins to feel and speak, like to people, and people's bodies start moving or they're affected in some type of way, you know you're probably like 85%, 90% there. That's really what art is about, making sure it moves people.
I also understand that perfect lies in perspective. So like my perfect isn't everyone else's perfect, but you know what I mean? This is my ecosystem that I'm creating in my world. So if it's perfect to me, then it's finished, you know what I mean? If it gives me if it makes me feel something, then I feel like it's finished.
Each producer in here has helped elevate something about me at some point since I've been in New Orleans this trip. For example, first day we get here, Ashilee gets on the piano, start playing something. I play something on trumpet that I've never played before. You know what I'm saying? Just naturally what I felt at the time. It turned into a sample that we flipped, then we re-flipped it again. You know, like there's levels, you know, like I didn't know LEALE was so great at manipulating sounds and doing things and like, oh, snaps, like, you know, there's more of me out here.
We feel honored that Focusrite would even support something like this. Being allowed to create and converse, you know, is accessible for a lot more people and creatives who really want to tap into that flow, that kind of flow. And so I hope people take away that it's possible, and there are people out there that want to be supportive for that and be a part of it for you.
This house and this community has definitely like influenced me during this retreat by using a little more magic, just reminding me that there's magic to be made. Resetting my mindset, calming my mindset, and getting back to our why we do this.
I will say this, is that if I'm ever gonna create in a living room from here on out, and it's not this, it's never gonna be the same. You know what I mean? Like this space has definitely been part of that transformative nature of the process.
For this pilot to happen the way it happened and happen when it happened, it makes me really excited for the next one. It makes me realize how incredible of a team and community of people I have around me, because I could not do this by myself. This retreat means a lot to who and what I am. So for this to be the first collaboration with a major brand like Focusrite, I appreciate you, because it affirms who and what the creative is to the communities that we serve. So it means a lot, to say the least.